Hey, welcome to the show. I'm the Crypto Kid, and in these videos we take a look at Bitcoin and everything that's going on in the world of cryptocurrency. So if you're new to the show, welcome. We make daily videos and keep it relevant to what's going on in the news. And if you're joining us again, welcome back. We got a pretty exciting video today talking about privacy coins. So let's jump right in, take a look to see what's going on with Bitcoin Cash this morning. Now right now, as you can see, we have hit a little bit of a low coming down from those highs that we saw yesterday around 2,800. Currently sitting around 21. So yes, the entire market is looking a little sluggish this morning, but you can see what I mean here by that high we hit yesterday around 28, and we have been battling to maintain any type of floor here. And I was hoping that we would kind of stick around that 2400 area, but we have broke through. So it is kind of on thin ice for a lot of cryptocurrencies, especially Bitcoin Core, currently sitting well below that $1,300 mark. And it seems as though the trend is continuing on a slow downward direction. And again, we'll have to keep an eye on that. But again, if we take a look here, almost everything is down over the last hour, with not too much showing green in the last 24. But those that are really standing out, specifically Ripple, and that is in the news. And we did mention the NOG coin yesterday, which was up yesterday, and it's continuing to show some growth here as it's just new to the exchanges. So that'll be continue. I'll continue to check an eye out on that as well. But yes, we'll head over to Bitcoin.com in the news, because Ripple is taking the spotlight, as we've seen 1,000% in 1 month. Pretty amazing feat for any type of coin, especially an altcoin. And this is the real news here, that that XRP or Ripple here has actually exceeded 100 billion market cap. Now that is the first time any altcoin has been able to surpass 100 billion, so it's a feat nonetheless. Now you could speculate a few reasons why this is happening. Again, this is known as the centralized coin, primarily used by the banks, and they have on December 7th locked up 55 billion XRP, and I think what they're doing is they're creating 55 different $1 million or $1 billion contracts, and they'll be releasing that in an escrow feature on the XRP ledger every month. So every month they'll be releasing those 1 billion XRP, and that will allow, I guess in their opinion, to basically create that. Basically, what it'll do is it'll verify that maximum supply here. I've got it highlighted. They can mathematically verify the maximum supply of XRP that can enter the market. But again, I mean, yes, a lot of people are looking at Ripple and other things like Dash because of the low fees compared to Bitcoin. But I feel that once people get more involved with the market, they'll understand that Bitcoin Cash has a lot more promise, being a very decentralized and basically true vision of what Satoshi Nakamoto intended as a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. But you know how we do it. That's the story. And otherwise in the news here, before we get to the main story, is in Japan. Now what's going on with Japan is that they're actually rolling out a lot of approvals there for the exchanges, and this is great to see, especially because of the contrast we're seeing right now in South Korea. But clearly they have just passed their 16th registered exchange here, which is great, approaching that 20 registered exchange mark for digital currencies. And it's pretty exciting because they are expanding into other areas internationally. Now, the big story here with Japan is Bitflyer. Now, they've expanded in November into the US, but they've also have plans now to expand into Europe as well. So this is going to be pretty incredible, especially with more adoption of cryptocurrencies. Now you're seeing in this article they're talking about Bitcoin Core being used in a lot of larger retail settings here, such as car dealerships. But more notably, you're seeing here the Tokyo camper van rental is now giving 20% discounts for fees between January 4th and March 31st. Now, this is really, in my opinion, just a great way to promote, because right now a lot of people are talking about Bitcoin, and when you associate that with your brand, it's definitely going to pull in some customers, whether they use it or not. Once they see the fees and wait times, they probably won't. But again, it's interesting to see that. And once, merchants get more involved with Bitcoin, that allows an easy access to get involved with actual more practical coins and currencies such as Bitcoin Cash and other coins, and we'll have to wait to see how that plays out. But today we want to talk about privacy coins, and there's a wicked article that came out on Bitcoin.com in the news here, and I again will leave a link in the description box. But let's check this out, because there is over 50 different types of privacy coins. That's right, 50 types of coins, and in 2018 there's surely going to be a lot more, because this is a trending and very popular type of coin where users can actually hide their transactions, the fee amount, and even their own identities, especially when you're seeing things happen in Korea when government agencies are trying to figure out who these people are. Now, really, there's the only way to avoid that is through privacy features, privacy coins. But really, in the end, there's always going to be a way to find you back, whether it's your browsing history or your IP address. But again, mainly, these coins really add value to privacy. Now, there is 3 different types of main algorithms. That would be the ring CT, as well as the CoinJoin and ZK snarks. Now, if you're not familiar with those 3, I'm going to briefly go into those. Basically, you've got things, different types of coins pulling from these algorithms. So let's start with Ring CT. More or less, they work with Monero. It's the big name there. And how that works is they hide transactions among other outputs. Okay, so basically, you're kind of hiding it within these other outputs, and it's almost impossible to find out where it's coming from and where it's going to. But you can also hide the actual amount that you're sending, which is pretty unique to see. So Monero is a very popular choice, and we'll get to the coins in a minute. But it also allows you stealth receiving addresses as well. So moving on to CoinJoin, this is mainly known as the safety in numbers, as that's what Bitcoin.com is mentioning as their approach here. And more or less what this is going to do is it's going to allow 2 senders to dispatch transitions of identical amounts. And so this will allow them to basically correlate the input and output, converging into joint payments, these 2 senders that have the same amount. So, it sounds a little confusing, but if you think about it, remember we talked about coin shuffle. This is exactly the algorithm that they'll be working with, in essentially shuffling them up with different payment systems that are similar to each other. So it's hard to tell, which is which, and it just kind of all muddles itself into one. But again, you're seeing other coins such as Dash using this and something they call private send, giving users the option to add that privacy feature. And finally, ZK snarks, which I'm sure you've heard Vitalik Buterin speak about, because they are testing it right now on the Ethereum network. But there is other coins such as Zero Coin that use this, and essentially what this is, it is the zero knowledge or zero interaction, basically allowing transactions to be verified by miners without knowing who sent them or where it's going. And so this will be really interesting, and I will continue to talk about this because the Ethereum network is, again, something that I really admire, and it's got a lot of promise in the future for a lot of different reasons, and apparently privacy is going to be one of them. And again, with Bitcoin Cash coming to the scene with CoinShuffle, there's going to be a lot of added competition. So let's take a look to see who these players are. We'll start out here with Zcash. Now, Zcash is one we've talked about here on the show before, but clearly there is a lot of other reasons why people get Zcash, because right now in the stats it isn't being used as a privacy coin really. So they can check to see how much that privacy feature is being turned on, and overwhelming majority of these users are not using that feature. So it is interesting to see as these coins gain in popularity, they almost lose that need to use the feature. And so in my opinion, you could see other coins come out that have that feature that's specifically for privacy. But again, Zcash is very similar to Bitcoin. It's got the supply, the fixed supply, similar to Bitcoin with 21 million coins, but it's also got its own different types of assets here, allowing you to turn on and off that privacy, and very similar to Monero. Now Monero is being used more and more on the deep web, and there were stories about the other day how Bitcoin users were arrested, and that whole saying now kind of coins Monero has, you should have used Monero. That's kind of what you see in all those memes. So yes, this is becoming more and more popular as well. And again, not necessarily being used as a privacy coin, because you can toggle on that privacy feature to enable the privacy, and most people just use it just as another coin. So it's interesting to see where this will go. And that leaves us to all the other coins that are coming out, especially being forked from Zcash itself. Now, here I'm just going to read this. The Zero Coin Protocol has spawned a slew of Z-named coins, and that's exactly what's happening. Notably, Z Classic. Now, if you haven't heard about Z Classic, it is making some serious waves, more so because they are going to be coming out with a fork soon. So they're going to be forking the Z Classic and coming out with Bitcoin Private. So you're seeing a lot of people stocking up, hoping to get that equal amount of Bitcoin Private from their Z Classic coins. And it's just gone exponential. You can see it here on the graph. It's gone up from around, just around $1 up to now above $100. So very, very wild. And then you're also seeing forks of a fork. So Zen is a fork of Z Classic. Pretty interesting. More or less, what you're seeing here is they use nodes similar to what Dash uses to enhance security. Or more or less securing the actual network, I should say. But they have a strong community. It's very community oriented. So that's got a very promising future. Anything, in my opinion, with a really strong community behind it is going to help out for sure. Now, there's so many other coins here. The article didn't really go into them, but there is Dash, which is currently had the highest market cap of any of these coins here. But again, it's not ultimately used as a privacy coin, but it has been becoming more and more popular, used as a currency or digital currency. Then we have Zcoin, which is basically allowing you to mint a coin onto a public ledger. Then we have Pivex, which is mixing, similar to CoinJoin. And then finally, we've got Verge, which is pretty fast, and it's considered to be the low cost here, but again, it's not the best for privacy. And again, there's so many here. I mean, Navicoin, Hcash, Cloakcoin, Stealthcoin, the list goes on, and I'm sure, as we have over 50, it's going to be very competitive, especially as we move into 2018 and have even more coins coming out to join. So again, like I mentioned, you can never be completely private here, but there is one tip here if you're looking to be completely private. At the end of the article here, it says, when using Monero, some users split their transaction into multiple hops, often passing through Shapeshift from a different altcoin and then onto the Electrum wallet using Tails. Now, it's a little bit beyond probably a lot of us, but there is ways to get around this, especially when you're using wallets on a desktop computer with a lot more options to play around with and enhance your privacy. But again, we'll have to wait to see what happens. I'm really excited to see what happens with Bitcoin Cash, especially what's going on there with Cash Shuffle. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens when, the authentic Bitcoin Cash here has incredible privacy features, among others. But again, there's a lot of cool coins here, including Zcash, Monero, and Z Classic is interesting as well. So lots of information here to take in, and I will leave the link in the description box if you want to check these out. And over the next months or so, we will delve back into these and see how they're doing, and also look to see the new ones coming out. So hopefully this video was enjoyed. If you want to check us out on Twitter, I'm over there at the Crypto Kid, 2Ds. And there's a lot of exciting stuff here, especially in the news, and I try to make daily posts here and also retweet some of the new stuff that's happening in the scene of cryptocurrency. So again, thanks for watching. Hope today's episode was enjoyed, and we will surely see you in the next one.